Hello, everybody. It's Paul with Fruitful Trees, and look who's here today. Good morning. It's
Yes, sir.
Orlando Gardner here, and we're going to interview him today. He's here at my house just visiting. And if you want to learn about mangoes, especially growing in pots and growing in a colder climate, this is the man you want to seek. So check it out. We're going to interview him today, and I'm going to put his link to our video below. All right. Thanks for coming on out.
No problem.
Everybody, I'm so excited. Look who's in my yard. This is the Orlando Gardener. Tell everybody your channel.
The channel is on YouTube, Orlando Gardner, and I am so glad to be down here. I am glad. What a different yard. I mean, oh wow. Up in Central Florida is a little bit tougher. No, a lot tougher. But I'm just glad to be down here with Brother Paul here, Fruitful Trees. Been wanting to do this for a couple of years, but we finally made it happen. And wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I've been watching your videos for a long time. They're very helpful.
Mhm.
Thanks to you. I'm thinking about getting an ice cream in some containers.
Yes, yes.
And
yes.
just a lot of the tips you have. I appreciate all the work you're doing. I'm going to put his link below the video, but here he is standing in front of a cherry tree.
Yes.
And then right next to the lemon meringue trees.
Yes, yes.
And
yes.
believe it or not, when I was starting to grow these trees, some of them, and even in my other yard when I was starting to grow them, I referred to your videos a lot. You know, you got some good information. Keep it up.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I do a lot of container growing because we freeze a couple of times a year, sometimes up there. But yeah, this is who I am. This is my life now, and I'm glad to have positive influence on your channel, and your channel as well. It's taking off, and it's growing fast.
What percentage of your trees are in pots versus in the ground?
I'm gonna say about 60% in pots versus the 40 in the ground.
Now,
Yeah.
how often do you move the pots?
Every year. Every year. That is the one about having mango trees in pots. As I was talking when Truly Tropical came up with a video. If you have come to my yard at any time and you come back the next year or 2 years later, the yard changes. That's the beauty. You get a few brothers to come over, and the dynamics just it changes. That's the benefit of having it in pots, and they do well. They do well. You can get a good strong 5-6 years without having to change anything.
How big's your property?
My property is about an acre. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not squared off, but it's an acre. But the form of it is a little bit odd. Mm-hmm.
And in the pots, so what's been your greatest discovery and your greatest value in growing in pots?
Awesome. Great question. My greatest discovery, mushroom compost. It really doesn't matter what it is. Mangoes, plants for medicine. Mushroom compost is something about that ground up mushroom compost that just make trees happy, like rainwater. So, not watering enough. Yeah, when you don't water and you're doing them in pots, they will let you know. There have been times I travel, I'm a minister. There have been times I come back to Orlando and every tree out there is looking like, Dad, why did you do this? So you definitely have to have a watering system or somebody there to help you, because unlike trees that are in the ground, they can't find their own water, and it'll be to your own demise if you don't set up a system having somebody to help you water. Yes.
Is the mushroom compost something you grow yourself or something to make, or is it something you buy?
It's something I buy. There's a plant in Apopka, Florida, and it's become very popular. Actually, since I did a video about it, so many people start going there that they don't even sell to the public now. You have to buy from somebody that has a license, but they grow the mushrooms in this soil, and then once they've used the soil a couple of times, the mushrooms and all that the soil is composted up, and they get rid of it. And so you can buy it for like $50 for a whole truckload of it, and it will turn your yard into a tropical oasis.
Do you have mushrooms growing everywhere?
They do.
They do.
They come up in the compost. Yes, they do. They actually do, and that has been one of the best things, even beyond the fish emotions.
Yeah, because I know you were using that for a while.
Yeah, and I still do. I'm a fisherman as well. fishermen are men too. But I fish and I take the carcasses, as you hear in the old history of America, as the Indians did, and put them down around the base of the trees and stuff like that. It works well, and in the pots. But the mushroom compost, yeah, yes,
So
sir.
when it gets cold, do you drag your trees in your house with the pots, or do you just cover them?
Well, I have burn barrels at different parts of the yard, and I just put a couple of charcoals in the bottom, put a good log on top, and let it go. Now there are times when it get into like 29, 28, and then I have some of the brothers, to come together. We'll assemble and we'll move all the pots in a certain part of the yard, and we'll cover them. But predominantly I use burn barrels. Yes, sir.
What's your biggest and your oldest trees that are growing in pots?
Okay, the biggest and the oldest growing in pots will be, um, let's see. That will probably be a 5-year-old Pickering. And by the way, Pickering does excellent in the pot. I call them the twins. I brought 2 Pickering trees at the same time, put one in the ground, left one in the pot. It's in like a 25-gallon pot, about 5 years old. It gives me just as much fruit as the one in the ground, and sometimes even more. Yes, but it does well.
Wow. So
Yes.
so people can grow anywhere in pots. So that's great to know.
Yeah, absolutely. It just, Brother Paul, it's time consuming. You have to have a mind. I have a friend that grow in pots as well, and they don't do as well. And the reason why they don't is because they don't have a habit of going out and watering. But you have to, that has to be a part of your daily regimen, your daily routine. You have to water your trees when they're in the pot. Absolutely.
On a regular daily basis.
Daily basis, yes.
Wow.
If not daily, every other day. It's according to what part of Florida you're in. Like it's getting into the summer months, so guess what? That's a second job. But the benefit of it is having fruitful trees in
There's
pots.
so many great videos you've made and so much great information. Everybody, get to Kevin's channel. His information's below.
Yes.
The link. Click on it, and thank you so much, man, for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can't wait for you to come to Orlando. Just come on, Mr. Paul, and do your thing out there.
Yes, I'll have to bear the cold and leave the South and come on up there.
Come on up.